Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Is Michael taking on a risky role as Kane enlists Victor's ex-attorney? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, might find himself in a questionable position ahead. Get updates on the latest news about the Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Is Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, planning to enlist Victor Newman's, Eric Braeden, ex-attorney for some dubious dealings? Kane has Amanda, but he has room for at least one more lawyer on his team. Kane currently has Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, serving as his legal representative, yet there's space for additional lawyers to join his team. If Kane proceeds with all these corporate takeover schemes, he will require substantial assistance to execute everything successfully. Furthermore, Y&R enthusiasts will remember the strain between Amanda and Kane when all the chaos unfolded in Nice. Kane might be inclined to consider a shift or at the very least incorporate an attorney who can provide a fresh perspective. With everything Kane is trying to accomplish, he could use a lawyer who knows his adversaries very well. What is this? Michael could be a perfect addition to Kane's team. Michael has the potential to be a valuable new recruit, perfect for Kane and what he's trying to get accomplished in Genoa City. Given his previous experience with Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, and his understanding of what drives him, Kane might see this as a significant advantage. Victor aims for Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, to connect with Kane and establish a Newman alliance. The strategy is to redirect Kane's focus towards dismantling Jabot rather than targeting Newman Enterprises and Chancellor. Nevertheless, Kane could devise his own plan if he persuades Michael to assist him in challenging the Newmans. Check and checkmate. Who makes the winning move? When Victor thinks Kane is successfully distracted, Kane could be busy setting up his moves against Chancellor and Newman. It would be wise for Kane to multitask and strike when Victor thinks the threat is gone. Michael distanced himself from Victor due to his conflict with Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and the plans to attack Jabot. Since Victor continues to target Jabot and won't reconcile with Michael, maybe Michael will think about joining Kane's team. It's easy to picture another major confrontation between Victor and Michael occurring eventually. Michael may be tired of being manipulated by Victor, and Victor won't reconcile with Michael. That might give Michael the final motivation he needs to side with Kane and turn Victor into a real enemy. Victor isn't someone who likes to be opposed, and many times Michael has tried to convince him to change his plans, with Victor becoming angry over it. What is this? This may be the perfect time for Michael to move away from Victor and work for someone more against Victor. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Michael might make some career changes and start new rivalries, so stay tuned for more updates on his future. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. Come back here often for the Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates. Y&R. Is Michael taking on a risky role as Kane enlists Victor's ex-attorney? The world of Genoa City has never been a place for the faint of heart. Power struggles, betrayals, and risky alliances drive the very lifeblood of the Young and the Restless, and once again fans are buzzing as Michael Baldwin appears poised to take on one of his riskiest legal roles yet. The twist? Kane Ashby, a man known for his own controversial past, seems to be pulling him right back into the kind of high-stakes drama that could shake the foundations of every relationship Michael has carefully built over the years. Even more shocking is Kane's choice to pursue Victor Newman's former attorney, a move that not only raises eyebrows but also raises the stakes in a way that promises explosive fallout. Michael Baldwin has long stood as one of the most complex men in Genoa City. Once a schemer himself, Michael managed to transform into a respected attorney, devoted husband, and loyal friend. But while he's worked tirelessly to earn the trust of the community, his involvement with Victor Newman over the years has often dragged him into situations where his morality and professional integrity were called into question. From covering for Victor's shady business dealings to navigating the minefield of Newman family drama, Michael has always danced on the edge of danger. Each time, he's walked away with his career intact, but the scars left behind have never fully faded. So why would he even consider getting entangled again in something that reeks of Newman-sized trouble, especially when Kane Ashby is the one holding out the deal? Kane has been out of the spotlight for a while, but longtime viewers remember his checkered history. Once involved in a marriage to Lily that captivated fans, Kane's life spiraled through scandals, lies, and manipulations. He's had moments of redemption, but Kane has always struggled to maintain trust, both personally and professionally. Now, if rumors and spoilers are to be believed, Kane is making his way back into Genoa City with plans that could rattle the status quo. His decision to enlist Victor's ex-attorney could mean that he's setting his sights on a battle involving power, money, and perhaps revenge. And the attorney in question? Michael Baldwin. But here's the rub. Michael has made clear in recent months that he wants to step back from dangerous entanglements. He's put his marriage to Lauren Fenmore first, choosing peace over peril. Yet Kane's arrival could test that resolve. Kane has always had a way of appealing to the underdog in people, spinning his tales in a way that makes others want to give him a chance. Michael, who has himself been redeemed by second chances, might find it impossible to resist the pull. But at what cost? If Michael takes on this new role, he could be opening himself up to not only professional risk but also personal backlash. Lauren has been vocal in the past about her discomfort with Michael's involvement in messy Newman family drama. Their marriage has endured its fair share of tests, and Lauren's patience has limits. Should Michael align himself with Kane, who comes with baggage and enemies aplenty, Lauren could view it as a betrayal of their hard-won peace. This could ignite cracks in one of Genoa City's most beloved marriages, a move that the writers might explore if they're gearing up for high drama. And let's not forget Victor Newman himself. Though the mustache is a titan in his own right and has always held Michael in high regard, there's no denying that Victor doesn't appreciate when others try to meddle in his business, or make use of his former allies. If Kane is plotting something that directly or indirectly challenges Victor, Michael could find himself once again standing in a courtroom where loyalties are blurred and consequences are dire. Victor has a long memory, and any perceived betrayal could land Michael on the receiving end of his wrath. The last thing anyone wants is to be in Victor's crosshairs. The implications stretch even further. Genoa City is a web of interwoven alliances, and Michael's move could reverberate through the lives of multiple characters. If Michael takes Kane's case, or joins him in any legal or strategic capacity, it could place him at odds with other legal players like Christine Blair, whose own history with Michael is complicated at best. Christine has fought tooth and nail to maintain her reputation as a fair and honest attorney, and seeing Michael once again dipping into murky waters could reignite old rivalries. Could we see Christine and Michael clashing once again in the courtroom, with Genoa City watching every moment unfold? Then there's the question of Kane's true motive. What exactly does Kane want that requires Victor's ex-attorney? Is he plotting a return to corporate life, perhaps gunning for a position that places him toe-to-toe with the Newmans or the Abbotts? Kane has never shied away from ambition, and with so much turnover in the corporate landscape of Genoa City, now could be the perfect time for him to strike. With Tucker McCall and Audra Charles stirring up their own chaos, could Kane be looking to align himself with, or against, these power players? If so, Michael's involvement could escalate matters to the point where entire families are once again dragged into all-out war. Fans are already speculating wildly about how this storyline could unfold. Some believe Kane's return marks the beginning of a redemption arc that will position him as a sympathetic underdog, one who relies on Michael to legitimize his comeback. Others think Kane has darker intentions, with Michael unwittingly stepping into a trap that could ruin him professionally. Either way, the stakes are high, and the drama promises to deliver the kind of classic Young and the Restless storytelling that keeps viewers glued to their screens. Lauren's reaction will be crucial. She's always been Michael's rock, grounding him when his choices led him into dangerous waters. But Kane is a wild card, and Lauren may not be willing to watch her husband get pulled back into the chaos. Could this storyline signal a larger marital crisis for Michael and Lauren? Some fans fear that if Michael pursues Kane's case, Lauren might finally hit her breaking point. A separation or even a divorce would devastate longtime viewers but would certainly add another layer of intensity to the drama. Meanwhile, Victor himself may not sit idly by. The Newman patriarch could very well intervene, either warning Michael off or directly confronting Kane. Victor is fiercely protective of his reputation and his legal strategies, and the notion that his ex-attorney might be working for someone he doesn't trust could be seen as a personal affront. Victor's reaction could trigger an explosive confrontation that pits him against both Michael and Kane, shaking up Genoa City's delicate balance of power once again. Michael Baldwin's legacy on The Young and the Restless has always been about walking the fine line between redemption and relapse. Just when he seems to have everything under control, something, or someone, drags him back into the fire. Kane Ashby's return may be the spark that reignites that dangerous flame, forcing Michael to choose between his hard-earned peace and the pull of a risky role that could define his future. If Michael takes this chance, he could be setting himself up for one of his most dangerous battles yet. With Lauren, Victor, Christine, and Kane all tangled in the web, the fallout could be massive. Fans should prepare themselves for twists, betrayals, and shocking reveals as this storyline heats up. Genoa City thrives on high drama, and this risky alliance may be just the thing to send shockwaves through every corner of the canvas. Y&R Is Michael taking on a risky role as Kane enlists Victor's ex-attorney? The mere mention of Michael Baldwin taking on Kane Ashby's case has already ignited Genoa City fans into a frenzy. At first glance, it seems like a simple enough plotline. A lawyer with a controversial past is tempted to represent a man who thrives on second chances. But this isn't just about legal contracts and courtroom battles, it's about loyalty, trust, and the dangerous ripple effects that come when one man risks everything to help another. To fully understand why this potential move by Michael is so risky, we need to unpack the layers of relationships, past betrayals, and the volatile players circling around the periphery. Kane's calculated return to Genoa City. For years, Kane Ashby has been a figure of both sympathy and suspicion. His romance with Lily Winters once had fans swooning, but his lies and deceptions, fake identities, secret deals, and betrayals, left deep scars. Kane's exit from Genoa City was less about closure and more about unfinished business. He slipped into the shadows, leaving behind whispers of redemption that never fully came. Now, with his reappearance, it seems Kane has a new strategy: ally himself with the kind of lawyer who could both legitimize his return and protect him from the inevitable storm. But Kane's motives are never one-dimensional. Could he be eyeing Chancellor Winters as a place to stake his claim again? After all, Devon and Lily hold immense power there, and Kane might see a way back into the corporate arena. Or perhaps Kane's sights are set even higher. Could he be gunning for Newman Enterprises or Jabot, hoping to leverage Michael's knowledge of Victor's playbook? This isn't just about legal defense, it's about strategic offense. Kane could be playing a very dangerous game, and Michael might unknowingly become his most valuable pawn. Michael Baldwin's crossroads. Michael has long lived in dual worlds, the respected family man and the lawyer who dances dangerously close to the flames of Genoa City's most notorious power players. His friendship with Victor Newman gave him prestige but also dragged him into ethical gray areas that nearly cost him everything. Fans know that Michael isn't easily swayed, yet he has an Achilles heel: his desire to believe in redemption. That's precisely why Kane might be able to draw him in. Michael has re-established himself as a pillar of stability, especially in his marriage to Lauren Fenmore. Their love story has endured countless tests, from schemes involving Carmine Bosco to health scares and corporate battles. But Lauren's patience has always rested on one condition: that Michael doesn't lose himself again in Newman-style drama. By even considering Kane's proposal, Michael risks reopening wounds and testing Lauren's tolerance. And if Lauren feels her marriage is once again being sacrificed for Michael's dangerous career choices, she may not be willing to stand by this time. The Victor factor. No Y&R storyline involving Michael is complete without Victor Newman looming in the background. Victor is a man who demands loyalty above all else, and while he has shown respect for Michael, he has also made it clear that betrayal is unforgivable. If Cain is scheming against Victor, or even just using Victor's ex-attorney as a weapon, Victor will view it as a declaration of war. Victor doesn't simply retaliate, he annihilates. Michael could find himself blacklisted from the very power circles that made his career. Worse, Victor might interpret Michael's choice as proof that he cannot be trusted, effectively severing one of Michael's most influential connections. That's not just risky, it's career suicide in Genoa City. Christine Blair, a rivalry rekindled? One of the most intriguing possibilities in this storyline is how Christine Blair might react. Christine and Michael's history is fraught with legal battles, professional rivalry, and old wounds that never truly healed. If Michael steps back into murky waters by representing Cain, Christine could see it as her duty to step in and uphold the integrity of the legal system. This could set up an epic courtroom clash, with Christine and Michael going head-to-head once again. Fans have long craved a storyline that brings Christine back into a central role, and nothing would be more dramatic than reigniting her rivalry with Michael in a case that shakes Genoa City to its core. Cain's endgame. The biggest question remains, what does Cain actually want? If Cain is merely seeking redemption and a second chance, then Michael's involvement could play out as a heartfelt redemption arc for both men. But if Cain is manipulating Michael, using him to wedge open doors that lead to power and influence, then this storyline could spiral into betrayal of the highest order. Cain's history suggests he thrives when underestimated. Could he be plotting to take down Devon, Tucker, or even Jill, carving out a piece of Chancellor Winters for himself? Or does his plan involve aligning with Audra Charles, who herself is no stranger to backroom deals and bold plays? A Cain-Audra alliance would be dangerous, and with Michael caught in the middle, Genoa City could be in for corporate chaos unlike anything we've seen in years. The Lauren wild card. Perhaps the most emotional element of this entire potential storyline rests with Lauren Fenmore. She has been Michael's anchor, his confidant, and his conscience. But Lauren is no stranger to betrayal herself, and she will not sit idly by if she believes Cain is manipulating Michael into a dangerous position. If Lauren issues an ultimatum, Cain or their marriage, Michael could face one of the toughest decisions of his life. Fans would be heartbroken to see cracks in their relationship, but soap operas thrive on conflict, and a rift between Michael and Lauren would create endless opportunities for angst, reconciliation, and powerful storytelling. Fallout across Genoa City. If this storyline unfolds the way fans suspect, the ripple effects could touch nearly every corner of Genoa City. Victor would be out for blood. Christine would find herself in a high-stakes courtroom showdown. Devon and Lily might find their company under siege. Tucker and Audra could seize the chaos for their own advantage. And through it all, Michael Baldwin would be caught in the middle, trying desperately to balance his moral compass, his professional reputation, and his personal life. The stage is set for an explosive arc, one that blends legal intrigue, corporate warfare, personal betrayal, and emotional heartbreak. For longtime viewers, it's a chance to see Michael tested in ways that hark back to his most iconic storylines, while also giving Cain a long-overdue return that could redefine his legacy. And if Y&R delivers on this risky alliance, fans are in for a ride filled with twists, shocking betrayals, and the kind of classic soap drama that will keep Genoa City buzzing for months. Y&R Michael may be tired of being manipulated by Victor, and Victor won't reconcile with Michael. The long-standing bond between Victor Newman and Michael Baldwin has been one of the most fascinating dynamics on The Young and the Restless. For years, Victor has relied on Michael to dig him out of impossible legal situations, and Michael has remained fiercely loyal, even when the cost to his reputation, career, and marriage was steep. But recent storylines suggest that loyalty may finally be unraveling. Michael seems more and more tired of being Victor's pawn, and for the first time, viewers may be witnessing a breaking point that could shatter their alliance forever. Michael Baldwin has never been a saint, but his journey has been one of redemption. He rose from a manipulative schemer to a respected attorney, husband, and father. Yet even as he built a better life, Michael's willingness to bend the rules for Victor often kept him tethered to a darker past. Every time Victor landed in legal jeopardy, Michael was expected to swoop in and clean up the mess, no matter how morally questionable the defense might be. At times, this allegiance strained his marriage to Lauren Fenmore and put him in the crosshairs of rivals like Christine Blair. Still, Michael stayed, loyal to the man who gave him opportunities but also demanded everything in return. But even loyalty has limits. Over the past year, Michael has seemed increasingly weary of Victor's endless manipulations. Victor has always operated on a code of power, dominance, and control, using everyone around him as chess pieces in his never-ending corporate wars. For Michael, who has fought so hard to establish integrity, the constant manipulation has begun to wear thin. Each time Victor pulls him into another scheme, Michael risks not only his career but also the respect of the very people who once forgave his past sins. And now, whispers around Genoa City suggest Michael may be ready to break free once and for all. Victor, however, is not a man who forgives easily. If Michael pushes back against his control, the mustache is unlikely to reconcile. Victor doesn't tolerate disloyalty, and in his eyes, questioning him is tantamount to betrayal. Once Victor closes the door on someone, he rarely reopens it. If Michael dares to draw a line in the sand, he could lose not just Victor's trust but also the protection and power that came with being in Victor's circle. And Victor Newman, when crossed, is not above retaliation. The potential fallout could be massive. Without Victor's patronage, Michael may find himself on shaky ground in Genoa City's power structure. His rivals, particularly Christine, could seize the chance to question his credibility and ethics. Lauren, who has long wanted Michael to distance himself from Victor, might support his decision at first, but the storm that follows could still endanger their stability. Meanwhile, Victor could retaliate by ensuring Michael's professional isolation, cutting off opportunities and framing him as untrustworthy to others in Genoa City. For longtime fans, this turning point could signal the end of an era. Michael and Victor's relationship has been one of the cornerstones of Y&R's legal and corporate intrigue. Watching it unravel opens the door to fresh drama, courtroom showdowns, rival alliances, and perhaps even a reinvention of Michael's role in Genoa City. Will he become the independent attorney who finally fights for justice rather than power? Or will Victor's inevitable backlash push him back into darker compromises? One thing is certain, Genoa City is about to feel the impact of this rupture. Michael's growing exhaustion with Victor's manipulations and Victor's refusal to reconcile promises a storyline filled with betrayal, power plays, and emotional consequences that could redefine both men's legacies. Y&R Michael may be tired of being manipulated by Victor, and Victor won't reconcile with Michael. For decades, the young and the restless has thrived on power struggles, family betrayals, and alliances that crumble under the weight of manipulation. At the center of many of these stories has been Victor Newman, the titan of Genoa City, who never hesitates to bend the people around him to his will. One of his most loyal allies, Michael Baldwin, has often been caught in that web. But now, it appears Michael may finally be reaching his breaking point. Tired of being used as Victor's personal fixer, Michael is showing signs that he wants out, and Victor may be ready to let him go without reconciliation, marking a seismic shift in their relationship. The history of loyalty and manipulation. Michael Baldwin's history with Victor has always been a double-edged sword. On one hand, Victor trusted Michael when few others would. He gave him high-profile cases and leaned on him as the only attorney willing to operate in the gray area of the law. On the other hand, Victor consistently manipulated Michael into situations that placed his reputation and personal life at risk. For years, Michael carried that burden quietly, telling himself that loyalty to Victor was worth the cost. But the cracks began to show when Michael started prioritizing his marriage and family more than Victor's battles. Lauren Fenmore's pleas for him to stay out of Newman chaos grew louder, and Michael's exhaustion became clearer. Each scheme left him a little more hollowed out, a little less willing to play Victor's games. Now, the dynamic has shifted. Michael no longer wants to be a pawn. Victor's code: no reconciliation for betrayal. Victor Newman has lived by one unwavering code: loyalty is absolute. Once someone crosses him, reconciliation rarely happens. Michael knows this all too well, but his weariness with Victor's constant manipulation could push him into a position where he simply doesn't care anymore. If Michael steps back, Victor won't forgive. He will view it as a betrayal, a sign of weakness, and Victor doesn't tolerate weakness in his inner circle. This sets up a dangerous clash. If Victor cuts Michael off, it won't just be the end of a professional alliance. It will be the erasure of Michael's influence in corporate and legal circles across Genoa City. Victor's reach is long, and his enemies don't often survive unscathed. For Michael, breaking away means losing more than Victor's approval. It means exposing himself to the mustache's wrath. Christine Blair enters the picture. One of the most intriguing possible outcomes of this rupture involves Christine Blair. For years, Christine and Michael have been rivals in the courtroom. Their battles are legendary, and their personal animosity is never far from the surface. If Michael turns his back on Victor, Christine may see this as her moment. With Victor no longer shielding Michael, Christine could push to finally undermine him, perhaps even exposing years of questionable decisions made under Victor's influence. A Christine versus Michael legal war would thrill longtime viewers. Both are seasoned attorneys with personal stakes that go beyond the courtroom. Christine's sense of justice versus Michael's complicated morality could give fans a front-row seat to one of Y&R's most compelling clashes in years. Lauren's breaking point. While Michael's professional life is on the line, the most emotional fallout may come in his personal life. Lauren Fenmore has stood by him through scandals, lies, and health crises. But her one consistent plea has always been the same: don't let Victor ruin you. For Lauren, Victor represents everything toxic in Michael's life: the manipulations, the compromises, the choices that pull him further away from the man she fought to believe in. If Michael refuses to reconcile with Victor, Lauren may feel relief at first. But if Victor retaliates and Michael is left with nothing but enemies, Lauren will be forced into a position where she must question how far she's willing to go to support her husband. A potential storyline could see Lauren torn between pride in Michael for finally standing up for himself and fear that his choice will cost them everything. Victor's revenge. Make no mistake, Victor doesn't let betrayals go unanswered. If Michael pulls away, Victor could unleash a storm. That could mean sabotaging Michael's legal career, ensuring no one in Genoa City hires him again. It could mean using his resources to dig up dirt on Michael, perhaps even exposing secrets that have long been buried. And in true Victor fashion, it could also mean targeting Lauren or Michael's loved ones as leverage. Fans know that Victor plays the long game. A Michael versus Victor war wouldn't be loud at first, it would be subtle, creeping into every aspect of Michael's life until he realizes just how much he's lost. This could create a slow-burn storyline full of suspense, betrayal, and shocking twists. Kane Ashby, an unexpected ally? Here's where things get even more intriguing. With Michael stepping away from Victor, another player could step in: Kane Ashby. Rumors already suggest that Kane is seeking Victor's former attorney for his own agenda. If Michael is truly tired of Victor's manipulations, Kane could present himself as an alternative. Two men with complicated pasts, both tired of being overshadowed, could form an alliance that reshapes Genoa City's power structure. But can Kane be trusted? History says no. If Michael aligns with Kane, he may be trading one manipulator for another. Yet, Kane's appeal lies in his ability to make people believe in second chances. Michael, who understands redemption more than most, might find himself drawn in despite the risks. Genoa City fallout. This potential storyline touches nearly every family in Genoa City. Newmans. If Michael abandons Victor, the Newman family could lose a key legal defender, leaving them vulnerable in future battles. Nick, Victoria, and Adam could all feel the ripple effects. Abbott's, Jack Abbott, always looking for ways to weaken Victor, might see Michael as an unexpected ally. This could pit Michael directly against his former mentor in ways fans never saw coming. Chancellor Winters, with Kane sniffing around, Devon and Lily could be dragged into a corporate war they don't want, with Michael caught in the middle. Fenmore's, Lauren's business empire could also come under fire if Victor decides to retaliate against Michael through her. Fan theories and wild speculation. Fans are already buzzing with possible scenarios. Could Victor frame Michael for a crime, ensuring he's disbarred? Might Christine and Michael end up on opposite sides of a case that exposes decades of Victor's shady dealings? Could Lauren finally separate from Michael if his choices drag them into ruin? And most tantalizing of all, could Michael, tired of Victor's manipulation, become Victor's greatest enemy, armed with the secrets he's kept for years? The potential is limitless, and that's what makes this storyline so exciting. Y&R thrives when it pits loyalty against betrayal, and Michael Baldwin vs. Victor Newman could be one of the show's most gripping arcs in years.